K105, good morning. It is the Merrill in the Morning show as we embark upon this Memorial Holiday weekend. It's a time when a lot of folks, kind of get the official start of summer going. Schools let out. Traffic, of course, gets heavier upon the roadways. And, every year for the past several years now, we've teamed up with our friends at Flournoy and Flournoy to bring more attention to being aware and to be safer when you're driving on the road. And a part of that now for the past several years, we've had Sheriff Greg Sanchez from the Angelina County Sheriff's Department. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. Thanks, Danny.
Great to have you along. We're both kind of suffering this morning because we both mowed the yard and got a whole bunch of dust into our system yesterday.
We did.
But, we were kind of talking off the air. And we know about, don't drink and drive. We know about click it or ticket. We know about the distracted driving. And it bears out because unfortunately over the past month and a half, 2 months, it has really been a bad time for traffic accidents in the East Texas area.
It really has, Danny. I mean, tragic, just very tragic accidents. And, a lot of it can be probably contributed to distractions in the vehicles.
Yeah.
But alcohol does play a part in some of those as well. But, distractions, and you hear more of the public talk about these cell phones and just other things that people have now in their cars. And they're becoming so distracted, and then they have a wreck out there, and they're very tragic.
I think, I don't have the statistics in front of me, but I've seen now where distracted driving, and this could be anything from texting to trying to change the station or trying to do something on the dashboard, taking a bite of a hamburger, anything like that. I mean, you take your eyes off the road for anywhere from a second to 2, even up to 5 seconds for texting.
Right.
Oh, man, that's just like closing your eyes while you're driving.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're covering many feet of roadway as you drive at even 55 miles an hour, but now people are driving 70, 60 in a lot of these roads. So you're covering the roadway very fast, and all it takes is a second to look down. And, of course, like you said, most people, it's more than a second, probably average of 3 or 4 seconds.
Sure.
And when you do that, you're covering, hundreds and hundreds of feet of roadway out there. And then you look up and boom, it's too late.
And not only is it dangerous and it can lead to, major accidents that would, loss of life, but a lot of the things we're talking about here are illegal. I mean, you're not allowed to, you're not supposed to do electronic texting, right? Right.
You're not supposed to text. And, at first it started with the school zones.
Right.
And now, like you said, just texting in general. So it's a good law. And it's something that we need to all remember. If you got a text, pull over.
Mm-hmm.
You see more people doing that, but you still have many that are not.
Right.
And so, you got to think about the fact that when you're driving a car, it's a very dangerous object if you're driving out there even at 30 miles an hour. And so when you're driving down, you do not want to have a wreck because you're texting or talking on the phone and have a wreck, and then you end up hurting somebody very severely or killing somebody.
Yeah.
And that's just something none of us want to have to live with.
What would be your suggestions as far as this Memorial Holiday weekend? What are some of the things that you would suggest as far as being safer on the road?
This is a summer holiday, so drinking is going to be another problem.
Right.
And so we need to remember that we do not drink and drive. And I just talked to the game wardens yesterday. They're going to be working the lakes real heavy.
Okay.
And so water safety is going to be very important. That goes back to drinking too. And so if you're drinking, don't be operating a boat. And there are laws about that too, as you know, Danny. And so if they're out there on the lake or they're on the roadway, let's try to make this holiday as safe as possible for everybody.
And speaking of safety, if you do see somebody from the Sheriff's Department or DPS or City Police that's pulled somebody over, you are supposed to move over to a safer lane, or slow down, one of the two, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's slow down, and if you like you said, now if you move over to another lane, then you can continue. But if you can't, you have to slow down.
Right.
And so, and I'll say this too, Danny. That's really a good safety thing for just a citizen on the shoulder of the roadway, because they could be standing there and get their mind caught up in what they're doing and forget about it and step out in that lane. Or a little kid could be standing there waiting on their daddy or mom fix the car, the flat, and they could walk out there. So you always got to, know that's an emergency situation, and so we all need to be careful and very, be on our toes.
And one last thing, because as always, it's just happened every day, but always keep the law enforcement in your thoughts and prayers, because you guys are out there, you guys are right there on the front lines, and it's a dangerous job.
I'm glad you brought that up. We saw today, Fox News put it out there that 26 policemen have been killed in Baltimore, I believe it was, and 35 last year. And this is only into 5 months right now. Police are really, it's a dangerous job at this time in history.
Right.
And so that's why I tell our guys, I talked to the lieutenant last night. I called and talked to him and told him, I said, Lieutenant, we was talking about some issues, and I said, but you tell you guys to be very careful, be very watchful out there. I just have a bad feeling this summer. And you got all these bad wrecks going on. We've had some bad calls that we've went on. And it just, I don't know, it just seems like there's just something in the air. But people just, all these shootings and everything's been going on, there's nothing gained out of that. And it's a heart problem. When people get out there and cold-bloodedly go and shoot people down, that is, there's more to it. There's an evil nature to that. And it's sad to see the things we're seeing now for our kids and for everybody, really.
I appreciate you sharing your thoughts with that. And as always, I hope you have a great holiday weekend. And stay safe, brother. Well,
thank y'all. I just want to thank Kicks 105. Y'all been very, very good to me. And y'all get the message out there to the people. And they appreciate it as well, and as well as I do.
Thank you very much.
All right, you bet.